Okay, let's talk about something that's honestly one of the simplest but most powerful tools you have for changing your relationship with food. It's called mindful eating. And no, this isn't about restriction or rules. It's actually all about connection. It's about remembering that eating isn't just something your body does on its own, it's an experience.
You know exactly what I'm talking about, right? You sit down with a plate of food, you're scrolling on your phone, or maybe you've got the TV on, and then you look down and poof, the plate's empty. You can barely even remember tasting it. That's what we call autopilot eating. And let's be real, it's become the default for so many of us in this crazy distraction filled world.
So, here's what we're going to cover. First, we'll dive into that autopilot meal and why it happens. Then, we'll talk about what it actually means to eat with awareness. We'll get into the cool science of your brain on food, then cover how you can actually practice this stuff. And finally, we'll look at the incredible payoff. All right, let's start with the big problem. Why on earth do we eat without even realizing we're doing it? Well, it all comes down to where our attention is, or more importantly, where it isn't. Now, this is a really big deal. When you're eating while you're also working or scrolling or watching a show, your brain literally misses the meal. It doesn't get all that sensory information it needs to feel satisfied. And the result? You might feel less full, you might be more likely to overeat later, all because your brain never truly got the memo that you even ate in the first place. So, what's the antidote to all this mindless munching? It is not some complicated restrictive diet, I promise you. It's a simple but really powerful practice of just reconnecting. At its heart, this is all mindful eating is. It's just about being present. It means tuning in to the actual taste, the texture, the smell of your food. It's about listening to your body's real cues for hunger and fullness instead of just eating till the plate is clean or the bag is empty. And I love this quote from the mindfulness pioneer John Kabat-Zinn because it adds a super important layer. That last word, non-judgmentally, is everything. This isn't about beating yourself up for what you eat. It's about letting go of all that guilt and stress and just showing up for the simple experience of nourishing your body. Okay, so now for the cool part. Let's look at the science of why this actually works so well. Because this isn't just some feel-good idea. It has a real measurable impact on our brains and our bodies. This slide shows the difference so clearly. On the left, a distracted brain is usually a stressed out brain. Your amygdala, the alarm center, is active, cortisol is pumping, and those super important "I'm full" signals get totally lost in the noise. But look at the right. A mindful brain actually engages the prefrontal cortex, your focus center. It sends safety signals through your nervous system, and, this is crucial, it can actually hear what your body is trying to tell it. See, this communication happens along what's basically a superhighway called the gut-brain axis. It is a constant two-way conversation between your digestive system and your brain. Mindful eating is kind of like turning down the static on that line, so you can hear the conversation clearly. And here's a mind-blowing reason why that conversation is so important. It takes about 20 minutes for the hormonal signals from your gut to travel all the way up to your brain and get the message across that you're full. A full 20 minutes. Think about that. So here's the bottom line. When we eat really fast or we're distracted, we can blow right past the point of fullness before our brain even gets the memo. We completely miss the signals from hormones like leptin and CCK, which are your body's natural, hey, stop eating signals that are trying to tell you, hey, we're good, we've had enough. Mindful eating just helps you slow down enough to actually hear them. All right, so we totally get the what and the why. So now let's get into the how. How do we actually start doing this in our busy, real lives? It all starts with the art of savoring. Seriously, before you even take a bite, just look at your food, notice the colors, the textures, smell it. Aroma is a huge part of taste. Then try taking smaller bites and chewing them completely. This isn't just good for digestion, it actually fires up your brain's reward system, which makes the food feel way more satisfying. Here is another incredibly powerful tool, the pause. Before you reach for a snack, just stop and ask yourself this one simple question. Because a lot of the time, we eat not because our body needs fuel, but because our emotions are looking for a little comfort. This pre-meal pause can be a total game changer. Before you eat, just ask, what am I actually feeling right now? Am I stressed, bored, lonely? Just acknowledging the true feeling can help you figure out what you really need. Maybe it's not food at all. Maybe it's a short walk or a cup of tea or just a quick chat with a friend. And look, here are 5 super practical ways to bring this into your daily life. Don't try to do it all at once. Just pick one. Maybe tomorrow you just try putting your fork down between bites, or you pause halfway through lunch to check in and see how hungry you still are. These tiny little shifts make a huge difference over time.
So what happens when you start to practice this stuff consistently? Well, the benefits go way, way beyond just better digestion. You are truly nourishing a lot more than just your body.
The payoff is huge. You're training your brain to be present, which helps with focus in general. You naturally get better at portion control because you're actually listening to your body. You start to let go of that whole stress and guilt cycle around food. And honestly, food just starts to taste better because you're actually there to experience it. And please, please remember this. The goal is not to be a perfect, mindful eater 100% of the time. I mean, that's just impossible, right? It's all about progress. Some days you'll totally nail it, and other days you'll be halfway through a bag of chips before you even notice. And that is okay. You just bring your awareness back whenever you can. So the ultimate takeaway here is this. The next time you sit down to eat, just see if you can put the phone away, even for just a few minutes. Take a breath, let your mind and your body finally be in the same place at the same time. Because when you train your brain to truly savor your food, you're not just nourishing your body, you're nourishing your awareness, one mindful bite at a time.